Hello, my name is AJ Bodine. In 2010, 4.9 million barrels of oil polluted the Gulf of Mexico in 25 days. The lack of attention to detail in safety protocols is extremely costly in the long run, while maybe being profitable in the short term. BP's stock price crashed 54% due to this and a tragedy which was resulting from these lack of security protocols. 4.9 million barrels of oil were released into the ocean following an explosion. BP had to pay large amounts of reparations even after their work to limit the effect of their accident. The oil and gas corporation known as British Petroleum, or also BP, experienced a catastrophic explosion and oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico on April 20th, 2010. An article written by Britannica estimated a total natural gas release into the Gulf of Mexico of 4.9 million barrels. The rig that was operated, known as Deepwater Horizon, was owned by Transocean but was leased to BP. It was operating in the Macondo oil prospect in the Mississippi Canyon, around 132 miles from Louisiana. Beginning at night, a blast of oil and its associated natural gas exploded through the concrete core used to close up the well for a well that was going to be used in the future. The core was provided by Halliburton. There was inadequate routine testing and safety protocols put on the cap for the core prior to its installation for the rig. Later leaked by WikiLeaks, BP had a similar event in the Caspian Sea in 2008 with a concrete core just like at Deepwater Horizon. It's expected that the two cores were weakened due to their process that was quickened by nitrogen in their curing process for the concrete. This resulted in natural gas spraying upwards onto the rig's surface and getting into the engine room, which then it was ignited by the engines as they were overworked, destabilizing the rig and having it topple over and sink on April 22nd, 2010. Initial reports from BP estimated a daily leakage of 1,000 barrels, but was soon corrected by the U.S. government officials to be closer to 60,000 barrels per day. The response to this crisis had to be fast. According to BP and their website, the response began immediately. They began by sending out 32 spill response vessels and a large tanker to limit the spill. Over 100,000 gallons of dispersants were available for usage, and 4 aircraft were ready to spray them on the spill. This had already been given pre-approval by the U.S. Coast Guard in order to limit a blow like this to the environment. The response by BP was not widely appreciated, as the U.S. government and President Obama believed they could have done more to limit the explosion and the tragedy from happening in the beginning. And financial repercussions were to be enforced due to this. A compensation fund for those affected and their families was created, nearing $20 billion, as there were 11 fatalities of the 126 souls on board. Even though BP's response to the crisis was swift, the explosion had a massive impact on the corporation. Their lack of safety protocols caused their share price to plummet a massive 54% between April 20th, when the explosion first happened, and June 25th of 2010. 10 days previous to that was when the core had been capped as a new core had been brought in. Even though BP's response was swift, the lack of attention to safety protocols is extremely costly in the long run, and the resulting explosion had a massive impact on the corporation. The lack of testing and the resulting explosion was catastrophic for BP. Their attempts to contain the spill were futile in the eyes of many. It has taken many years for BP to rebound, but due to their adherence to safety protocols, they have found success, as they have not had any tragedies or mistakes over the past 12 years.